So yeah, he's got a Nintendo Switch, yeah, and because he did so well with this final year, well, not his final year, you know what I mean, this year, this end of year anyway, with his report, I said to him, choose any game online that you want to play that's obviously suitable for your age, of course, it's got to be suitable for your age, but any game online that you can find that you want to play, that you want to download onto your Switch so you can play it this weekend, do that.
They get rewarded.
If you see what I mean, like a reward. And I said to him, it doesn't matter what it costs, because you've done so well, I want you to understand that there is, like you said,
rewards.
There is a reward for achievement and for hard work. And that's how life should be, and how life should work, you know. And he understood what I was able to, you know, he understood what I was trying to say, if you see what I mean. And I said to him, if he continues in this light and continues to excel and do well, he will continue to, you know, he will gain from it, if you see what I mean. There is, you know.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another, I mean, praising a child, especially, I think, is very important.
Yeah, giving them confidence, you know.
That's right.
Having their, you know, self-esteem.
That's right. I mean, I think that's partly why I've become good at art. When I was a young child, there was another teacher, not Mr. James and seniors, whatever, but they always wowed with my art, you know, even a very young child. So that's why I've become good at art, I think, because people will praise me up about it, and if you praise a child up in any way, if you're good at running, whatever, and they pat you on the back, you want to do better.
Yeah, true.
As a child, you know, and it makes you feel, it gives you a sort of a rush.
It gives you that ego,
Yeah, and I mean, that's, I know that some children, or a bunch of children, really enjoy school. But I bet there's some subjects they didn't really enjoy so much. There's subjects, I think some people enjoy maths, I don't know how, but they do. So I enjoy art, and I think, like, with maths, it's a bit more of a thinking thing, and you become more angrier as a person. If you're a mathematic person all your life and you just do maths every day of your life, I just don't think you've become natural so much, that's all. Where art is using your imagination. It's growing your imagination, I feel, even, you know.
Yeah.
Where maths, it kind of does grow it a bit, you know, because I'm glad that I do know maths and numbers and all this, you know. But you know, it was an invention. It's made our world more complicated, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so can you imagine, like, if the person didn't invent numbers, we wouldn't be adding them up today.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
But somebody invented them, and now taught them to a few people back then, and then now the whole world knows numbers.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it's like I was studying, you know, like learning about languages this week a bit.
Yeah.
You know, like studying things that I don't know a little bit. Where, like, our alphabet has got 26 letters in it.
Yeah.
And so is the French language. So is the German. But the Spanish is at 27.
Yeah.
You know, but I find that really interesting. Why?
Yeah.
That's, you know, you've got to ask these questions about language. And I don't know about the number system. I think we use the same number system.
Yeah.
Don't we? German is the same number, but we obviously
say it
use
differently.
different sounds.
Different languages.
Yeah,
different languages and.
Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, whatever, you know. French.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we've got different names for. This is all done on purpose at a certain time. All this, do you know that?
Yeah.
It seriously was. We're all given different languages by someone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They were all created.
All created. Yeah.
4 different languages there. You know, with, like I say, I don't know why. And it's like even with states.
If you think about it, you had Greek. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not only that, if you go back from time, yeah, you had Aramaic, Hebrew, Aramaic, lots of different Abrahamic, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Writings, if you see what I mean. So yeah.
It's even like states. Apparently there's 13 states in North America, 13 states in Canada, 12 in South Africa. I want to study it more a bit, but you got to ask yourself why. And I mean, in this country, there's not the roads. Number 13's missing out because they say something.
Yeah.
They're very superstitious about 13.
13, yeah.
You know, and all this. And I'm thinking, why have they got 13? Well, you know, do you know what I mean? And all this sort of stuff. You know, it's sort of like. Anyway, you know, it's something that I'm sort of learning about, and I want to study a little bit more in the future, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I like understanding things, and that's what life's really all about, is understanding everything and understanding why the world is like it is today.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder when numbers were invented, you know, and everybody's had to start learning them, if you see what I mean. But we're living, to me, today, we're living in the world of numbers.
Yeah.
And even when I go to the checkout sometimes, and they don't go through the till, and the lady comes along, she's going like this, and I think a poor lady.
I've got to insert all these numbers.
Is like a number like
12 numbers long.
No, more than that.
Yeah.
Like 36 or something crazy, and I'm thinking, oh, this is crazy, you know. It used to be a bit more simpler and all this. You know what I mean? When I was younger, didn't have all this.
It was all price tagged.
It was just cash.
Yeah.
It wasn't all this digital number, whatever. You know, we're living in a very digital world today. You know, and I expect that the girl at the end of the day, because she does it a lot, she's got to go like this.
Yeah, she's probably used to it. Yeah.
She's dreaming of it. You know, like dreaming of putting numbers around her head. Because that's the thing. I mean, if you're whatever day you've had, you kind of like dream about it. If you see what I mean. Whatever your reality is, it belongs to you.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're I'm working with pigs all day and all week and every year round, you know, I think you're going to start dreaming of pigs. If you see what I'm saying. I mean, how many different careers out there today? I feel like that's even like the dictionary. Okay, would say English. First of all, they only made a few, and then slowly in time we've got thousands. And even like tomorrow, they're going to make a few more words, whatever, to add to the dictionary.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same with careers. So, you know, first of all there was just farmers, and slowly in time there's lots of different careers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Especially in the society that we live in today, mate. Like, there's so many different career paths and options, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, even in the police force, there's lots of different sort of departments and different jobs you can get in the police force or in the army and so on.
Yeah. And one thing I did want to touch on very quickly while I remember, right, is there's something called Open University.
I've read about it.
And if there's not, I don't know if everyone out there is familiar with this, but there's something called Open University, and it's online, and there's a lot of courses on there, right, that they offer to people, yeah, where they can do it online in their own time, either part-time or full-time, if you see what I mean. And most of it's online. Occasionally they might have to travel to wherever, you know, whatever country they are, or wherever they are, they might have to travel to, you know, a certain place to do their exam or whatever it is, when they, you know, once or twice a year. But most of it is online. And what is really great about it is that they offer a lot of courses. Yeah, there's a lot of different courses on there, and a lot of them do not require a lot of qualifications, or so, you know, they don't have a huge curriculum of things in which they require for people to take these courses, if you see what I mean. So that's really a blessing. So if you know you're someone out there that you know, has a desire to get like a diploma or some kind of like, you know, some kind of degree or something, you know, and you haven't got like a lot of qualifications and whatever else, you might just have a few, you know, a few GCSEs or a few, whatever the case, maybe a few A-levels, whatever. Just look into Open University, because honestly, a lot of the courses, there's a lot of real great courses on there. And I'm only talking about this because I know there's probably a lot of people that are familiar with it, but there probably might be people out there that might not be familiar with it. And it's something that I came across myself, and I think it'd be beneficial for other people to know about it if they are interested, of course. That you can gain a degree or a scholarship or these diplomas, that these things, different things that these people are offering with very little qualifications, and that is a great thing for a lot of people out there.
No, Open University's been out for years.
No, I know. But
yeah.
It's such a great.
Me,
it's such a.
To me, this is why the world's going wrong a little bit, because you know that you need degrees and all this. It's just got a bit too. I just wish that you know, like we didn't live in this world.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
Every child's important, and every job. I just think when a child leaves school, they should be guaranteed a job. Or I just feel like some children get left behind.
Yeah.
And that should happen. Full stop.
Yeah.
Full stop. You know, I just think it's all down to the way schools are set out.
Yeah.
Or planned out or ordered. It's wrong. It's all wrong. And it needs to be, you know, like I say, philosophy is very important. I'd loved philosophy when I was younger. If school was more interesting when I was younger, I'd be more interested, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was more like a prison in a kind of way, with a bit of violence here and there that you had to be careful.
Yeah.
With all the other children, there's bullies older than you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Years above you. It was a scary place to live in for me. You know, I think like, feel like a lot of children must have felt the same.
Yes.
I mean, me personally, I learned how to handle myself and how to fight. And I felt like that's the best thing I've ever done in my life, in a kind of way, in the world that I live in. Learn how to sort of like hit someone in a kind of way when they do something to you, nasty, you know. I think it's one of the most important things to learn, is to stand up for yourself really in this life.
Yeah.
Because it's no good if you can't, isn't it? Because you know, people take advantage of you. But I mean, that's why I feel like with this educational system we got, where we get graded and things and all this sort of stuff and all that, called bashes and that, I think it's going to fall down.
Yeah.
Because there's so many angry people about it, it's untrue. People don't realise a lot of people are hiding behind court doors.
Yeah.
And they're angry. There's so many people, children. There's a lot of children that do make, you know, get a good job and all this when they leave school. But I'd say more than half of the children are unfairly treated.
Yeah.
They end up in factories or in jobs they don't really want to be at. Or
but they end up in basically, you know, the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
In the job market.
I mean, even me, I struggled, alright, when I left school, because I left school early.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to take my exams, because I didn't feel confident enough that I was good enough to do it for one. So I just left school early. And then I went to college for a little while, and then I went into the building industry, and I was just low paid.
Yeah.
Struggling all my life.
Yeah.
Where, if I would have been done well, you know, the thing is, I was intelligent, okay, but I just felt like I wasn't in the place I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be at home or whatever and do my own thing.
In your own
free.
Own environment.
Yeah. I was a child really that quite enjoyed my own company as well.
Yeah.
And I used to play with the insects a lot when I was little. We didn't have games in those days.
Yeah.
No computer games or anything, you know, so things were different.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I used to have a bit of fun with my cousins and all that, and I just felt like my education in school completely let me down. And with my first experience being locked up in the cupboard, I couldn't trust teachers, I think, after that. And I just found, and another thing is I was left-handed, okay, and left-handers find it a bit difficult to draw.
Yeah.
More right.
To write,
not draw. I was a good drawer, but writing, I didn't like it at all because, you know, one, I couldn't see what I was writing, alright, because, you know, if I read out that I could see what I was doing, but they taught me to write this way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another thing. They found out that, because these people come around, I don't know who they were, but I can remember it, they were doing a sort of test or, I don't know, they just wanted to come around and they found out that most people that were left-handed were in the bottom set. And they were good at art. That's the truth.
Yeah.
They found out most of the children down the bottom set were left-handers.
Okay.
And I can remember a girl that I fancied like anything, she was left-handed as well.
Yeah.
And she was good at art. And you find that a lot of people that are left-handed are good at art. And I think that's simply because they find it difficult to write at school, so they start doodling.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a theory. But I think that a lot of artists, left-handers, it's not because, I don't believe this stuff like, oh, this brain, this part of the brain thinks like this, and this part of the brain thinks like that.
Right. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, because I've studied it. I've studied it.
Okay,
I've studied it in depth.
Yeah, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, I don't know, but I just think, I look at the brain as one thing.
Well, there's two different, you've got a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere of the brain.
Yeah, well, I know that. So you've got left side of your body and the right.
It's like you've got like the cerebral cortex here, and you know what I mean, the hypothalamus here, and then, you know, different parts of the brain and you know, different functions and different.
I mean, that's another thing you can educate yourself about, is like the science of the mind,
of the brain, and
the soul,
how it all works,
the soul and everything.
Yeah. Well, different parts of the brain are responsible for different parts of the for different things.
Exactly.
So one part of the brain is responsible for what we're here doing right now, talking. You see what I mean? Movement, and you know, sending signals to the body. You know, sending signals to the body to talk and to move and to. And like, it's so interesting how, you know, obviously, as we all know, well, not all know, but most people know how different parts of the brain are obviously responsible for different things, and you know, different parts of the body.
Balancing. You know,
exactly. So yeah, it's very interesting how it all works and how it's, you know,
I mean, what we've got to educate about ourselves is how to be polite.
Correct.
How to be respectful. How not to sort of get angry anymore and lose your temper. I say, when I was a little boy, I used to lose my temper.
Yeah.
I think when I was 12, I used to really lose it quickly. But by the time I was 16, I only lost it a few times. It wasn't so often. It's like a little boy crying, isn't it? You know, and then it grows up, it doesn't cry so much.
Yeah.
We all got to learn how to be stronger in life.
Yeah.
We've got to even really sort of learn to eat the right food in life.
Yeah.
So we can behave in the right. I mean, if you drank a bottle of whiskey today, you're probably gonna have a very good day tomorrow, have a hangover.
Yeah, we might not have a good day for the rest of the day and the day next day. You're right.
That's right. You know, like a whole bottle of whiskey,
or
something. But if you
you might get alcohol poisoning, especially if you're someone that's not used to drinking.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not used to drinking, you all of a sudden you decide to drink a bottle of whiskey, mate, you might end up in the hospital, mate.
And I think like it wouldn't matter how intelligent you are, really, and what you know or how much you know. Once you're drunk, it kind of goes out the window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Goes out your ears, all your knowledge in a kind of way.
I remember getting drunk. I remember in my teens, right, man. I never got drunk. I've never got drunk many times in life. I can count on one hand how many times I've ever got drunk. And I never used to drink much, but I remember one time I was so drunk, mate. Honestly, I didn't even know what was going on. I knew I was kind of with it a little bit, but I was mostly out of it. To be very honest with you, like I couldn't really see. I was so drunk that I couldn't even really see properly. Like, that drunk, you know, like they say, they have an expression, they call it blind drunk, where you just literally, you know. I remember my mates, I remember like, us getting off the bus and my mates helping me like off the bus, like, you know, like just helping guiding me off the bus, like being so drunk, and laying down on like the bus stop, literally getting off the bus and laying down on the bus stop, falling asleep. fallen
You
asleep.
can count it on one hand.
On one hand, how many times I've been drunk? Yeah.
I need quite a few hands,
Yeah.
I think, to count mine, you know.
But I never used to drink much. But when I used to drink, I used to drink only like a couple of beers here and there. But I also remember another time too where I drunk. I was like, I just moved to the other side of the island. Yeah, the last few years of being in the Caribbean in Barbados, like I lived on the south side. Like I moved to the south side of the island, if you see what I mean, for the last few years. And I remember randomly I ran into this guy at this shop. It's just like the shop that just sells like you know just snacks and beer and drinks and food and whatever else. And I ran into this guy and I hadn't seen him for a while and he was there drinking. And I hadn't drunk for a long time and I was only about, I don't know, about 16, 17 and I never used to drink much, you know, at all. But I remember sitting there for like 2 or 3 hours just talking with him, chatting, like catching up, you know, having a good old smoke and a good old drink. And then like, we must have drunk like 12 beers. But because I wasn't used to drinking, you know, and I wasn't really, you know, used to drinking that kind of level, that amount of alcohol, you know what I mean? I remember literally sitting on the table, we were chatting, sitting on the table, and I almost fell forward. If you see what I mean, I was that drunk that I almost literally, I sat there talking. After my 12th beer, I didn't realise, you know, because time had passed, I didn't realise we'd drunk that many until we counted them afterwards, you know. And he bought all these drinks too as well, like he was buying these drinks, if you see what I mean, continuous drinking. And I remember literally almost falling forward, and I'm glad I managed to like, catch myself, kind of thing, you know. But if I had fallen properly, I would have, you know, hit my head, you know, splat, you know, right into the concrete, you know, would have fallen right into the concrete, you know. Yeah.
I mean, I've been drunk quite a few. I think it was 1,000 times over probably. I don't know. Yeah. I've lost count. But I mean, when you do have a good drink, it's kind of an experience, and you kind of learn from it.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes. You know, I kind of personally look at. I mean, it's not a mistake. Nothing. No, I don't think anyone thinks it's a mistake if you're enjoying it.
Exactly.
And you're not harming anyone.
Yeah.
Or hurting yourself in any way.
Yeah.
You know, I think where, you know, we all want to be I wish everybody was educated in the world. I really do. Because there's as we say, there's so many different things when you look at it that you people need to be educated with. Or not necessarily. It's like, for instance, like I've said before, I'm not into cars one bit, and I've never needed to really learn to drive or anything.
Yeah.
But some people do.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's not. To me, I feel like I'm wasting my time learning to drive. If you see what I mean, and spending half my life on the road.
Yeah.
I feel I'd rather put my brain to other things.
Yes.
Or my time. We're not on this planet for long, like I've said maybe previous times, whatever.
Yeah.
Life is very short. Life is temporary. We're not here forever. Sometimes you feel like, wow, you can learn and go to school every day for the rest of your, you know, all your life. But then you're dead.
Yeah.
And what, you know, is the truth? What is the truth? Because nobody knows about like death or anything. Do we really carry on with the universe forever, you know, and carry on existing?
Yeah.
Because nobody really knows, do they? Come on, you know. No, I mean, I know some people maybe experience death, and they say they come back, and a lot of people are alive, and some people are mediums even. They say there is another side and all that.
Yes. Yeah.
But the truth is there.
Yeah.
Really.
I
mean, when I look at this. The whole universe, right? Like I said, this right now is the oldest moment it's ever been. And this is the most advanced the human race has ever been. Ever.
Yeah.
This is the moment, right? Tomorrow ain't even come yet, alright? So how can anything be alive tomorrow? Nothing's alive tomorrow yet. It's not existed yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not happened.
That happens, yeah.
Okay, so nothing, not even ghost exists tomorrow. Or maybe, you know, nothing exists tomorrow. Not yet.
Not yet. Not until it's actually happened, yeah.
No, that's what I feel. I feel like the universe, this is my personal feel, like I've said before, water, it never ages. And I feel like the universe has always been out.
Yeah.
But it ain't had a future yet. It's like we haven't, if you sort of mean.
Yeah.
This is the, I just look at the universe as a dimension that's growing just like we are.
Yeah.
Okay, it's growing, it's kind of like...
Expanding.
Yeah, next year it's going to be a year older.
Yeah.
The sun, I don't know, it might change colour next year, who knows?
Who knows?
It might grow smaller, I don't know, and explode into thin air. Who knows, you know? But I just look at the universe as sort of like a bunch of rocks and sand and I feel like really in the universe there's nothing living, it's all dead. Apart from the trees on this planet that are alive. That's the only thing that's alive, I feel. That's the only thing that I witness that's alive.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do feel like I've got communication with this universe somehow.
Yeah, likewise.
It's a very powerful connection.
Yeah.
It's very godlike.
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
You know, sometimes I feel like, is the universe God itself? Everything that's in it?
Well, I feel for me, like the best way for me to explain it personally is I feel like when you start to get in alignment and get on the same kind of frequency as the universe, then it's almost like everything starts to work in your favour. If you see what I mean, like just life.
If you behave yourself.
If you conduct yourself, if you live your life and conduct yourself a certain way, and treat people a certain way and you know, like you said earlier, be kind and respectful and polite and loving and peaceful and caring and, you know, empathetic and patient and trustworthy and etc. All these, you know, try to have all these great qualities, you know. Anyway, mate, before we wrap it up and call it a night for this week's episode, all about
education.
Any final words, any closing statements, anything you want to leave with the people before we, you know, get out of here?
Well, I think like this episode needs to be a bit longer because it's such a interesting subject, really. So I think like there's so many things we need to learn about, like for instance how to be happy.
Yeah.
How to be happy with ourselves. How to forgive people.
Yeah.
How to understand people, you know, if they're getting upset and how to deal with them.
Yeah.
And how to sort of like teach other people how to be stronger and not to get upset, you know. I think that, like as I say, I feel like if we were all educated, we wouldn't even need the police. That's simple. It's true. If we were all educated and loved and everything like that, there'd be no crime.
Yeah.
There'd be no crime. I mean, everybody would be educated so well that they'd be sharing their things. There'd be, I don't know. I just think if everybody was educated in the right way.
Well, I tell you what, right, mate.
I know that you can't get rid of crime.
There are certain countries in the world today that I've never been to these countries, but there are a few people that I have seen, like, you know, multiple people that have done interviews that have talked about living in these countries and being there on holiday or whatever, where there is so little crime. There is literally, if you see what I mean.
No, in Canada apparently they leave their doors unlocked there because there's, you know, the neighbours trust each other there very much. But I mean, I suppose different countries got different crime rates and different situations depending on the management or the government of that town
and
city.
And the poverty level.
I think it all depends on just the management of the actual town. On each town, on their rules as well, because I think, like for instance, like say North America, they got 13 states, but each police force in each state got different kind of ways of dealing with things, I think. They've got their own little rules, and I don't know, they're just a little bit different on how they and their crime rate's different,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff, and so on.
Yeah.
So I think like education is very interesting, and I think like if children were educated in the correct way, and we had the correct teachers and the correct system and a greater understanding with each other, I think like crime would reduce big deal.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree.
put it that way.
I agree.
Big time. If we were living in a world where the price of living was going down, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Well, if we lived in an ideal society where everything was managed correctly, you know, where everything, like you said, everything was managed correctly, from housing to food to jobs to everything, income, like, you know.
They say man is intelligent, yeah, but if they're that intelligent, why isn't the price of living going down?
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, why is it going up and up?
And the thing
That's
is,
not
the thing that is most infuriating, yeah, and even the other day, it happened again, a few days ago, another company released a statement saying that they are 900%, this year, they had 900% profit. 900% profit, if you see what I mean, in comparison to other years. And I'm talking, that's billions. This was an electrical company, and I'm talking, this is about, they made billions of pounds in profits, and they're not ashamed to broadcast it and to tell people these things. Meanwhile, everything continues to increase. It's like, it just makes no sense. It just tells me that these people, you know, that own these private companies that have these deals with the government and stuff like this, are essentially screwing the governments, and we're the ones that have to pay for it.
No, it's all corruption out there, isn't it?
You know?
It's all corruption, isn't it? I mean, everybody's trying to get rich out there, one way or another, whether they steal it or
the hook or the crook.
Whatever. You know, I just feel like even, you know, some women go into prostitution and all kinds of things, you know, just to make money. But, you know, they say people would do anything for money.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, even myself, I would love a dream bank account.
Yeah.
Which would make me a little bit happier, I think. Because I'm not a rich person at all, you know, I'm pretty poor.
Yeah.
But I know, I understand that a lot of other people are poor in the world too, so I'm not the only one.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, you're
I'm rich. I feel
you're
like my
rich.
imagination.
Well, you're rich in spirit, but also,
I mean, that's another.
even though you're not wealthy or rich in any, by any, you know, but you
I think
you get by. You get by. You survive.
Yeah. What I think what makes you rich in life is how happy you are.
That's it. Happiness.
If you're happy,
Yeah.
you're rich.
Our richness is life.
Yeah. If you're happy, whether it rains or whether the sun comes out, or happy with whatever, you're rich.
Yeah.
I think you know you're wealthy. It's only when you're unhappy, ungrateful, that's I feel that you're poor in life. You know, not enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, like I was looking at prisons in America, you know, I don't think they really want to take the fun away. They want to make it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they really don't want you to enjoy your stay there whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, I think, like, you know, that is really something to be educated, get yourself educated about how to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
I think it's the most important thing in life, really. Yeah, it's learning how to be happy in life, isn't it? And I don't think, like, all this information, loads about that. You really need to. You don't really need to know it all. You know, life's quite simple, really. Obviously you need to learn. Not every word in the dictionary, but most of them, just so you can get around and talk to people.
Yeah, to be able to have
Well, I think, like, even words. Some people use some complicated words that people don't even understand or know about, and I don't know. I just think, like, some people try to be intelligent, really. You know, too intelligent. With
I get what you mean. Yeah.
that's not intelligent. in a funny way.
Because these people, for them, it's like an ego thing, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's a prideful thing. They want to be seen in a certain light. They're not doing it because they genuinely want to become wiser and more intelligent and more knowledgeable and more, you know, be able to, like you said, have deeper, meaningful conversations with people from all walks of life because you're more well versed in different things. You see what I mean? You know.
Well,
but some people just do it because it's an ego thing.
Or even like names of plants and all this and whatever. Right? They're really long.
Yeah.
You know, the rich people at the time made long names, so it would be very difficult for the public to read, basically, or understand. Sometimes, you know, that was a lot of it. It's hard to explain. Yeah.
Anyway, mate, I think it's time to call it a night for this week's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode, of course. Please tune in again next week. We'll be back again, of course.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, with a brand new episode. I've enjoyed it as well, I must say. But yeah, good night. God bless. Stay tuned. One love. Good night.